Welcome, Leo. It's your Mars in Taurus 6 week forecast for the Ascendant, the Sun, or the Moon. From May the 18th through to June the 28th, Mars, the planet of action and desire, moves through the earthy, sensual sign of Taurus. We can talk about that generally, but what will it mean for you personally? I'm going to show it on screen, your event chart, the exact moment that he arrives, but from a purely Leonian viewpoint. All the other planetary influences feeding into it too. But I'm also going to share two upcoming aspects. One through the last 10 days of May could be quite testing, and one through the last week of June could see you really be victorious. By the end of the video, Leo, you'll have a clear understanding of what's upcoming in terms of your energy, work, relationships, or finances. So on the screen now is your event chart, and there's Mars in the most northerly part of your chart. So incredibly powerful. Mars in Taurus gives us an appreciation of values. It can be of the good things in life because the sign of Taurus is ruled by the sensual Venus. But the raw power in the 10th house for you can supercharge your ambitions. And we've just had a new moon in the sign of Taurus, a super new moon, which was also blessed by the mercurial energies of Mercury, which meant that your thinking has been very sharp too. What Mars does is bring more passion and determination to the mix. And Mars in Taurus can be very determined. It's a fixed sign like yours. So when it really sets its sights on something, it can really be very goal orientated in a very single minded way. But Taurus can also be about values and money, everyday money. So if you're in a job at the moment where you don't feel particularly valued, you don't feel that people appreciate the quality you bring to the situation, and also you don't really feel it fits your longer term plan, the visibility of Mars here can give you more confidence if you pitch for new opportunities, if you apply and have interviews or presentations. The chances are Mars will give you a lot more sense of your value. And also, it can give you more confidence in your personal appearance and in the way you connect to the wider world. But it was a bit of a paradox because Venus, the ruler of the sign of Taurus, starts this journey in a beautiful conjunction with the moon in Gemini. So that's very friendly. So it may be a case of who as much as what you know, if you are going to pitch in a different direction professionally, or it may be true even within an existing organization. But Venus then moves on Tuesday the 19th into a more sheltered part of your scope. And it's in a perfect sextile to Mars, but Mars is in the most visible area and Venus the most hidden one. So that's quite intriguing. But it just suggests there are more ways to achieve your prize than just sheer grit and determination and visibility, which comes from Mars. So a degree of subtlety will be important as well. So the way you interact with people, you can use your natural charisma, but a degree of tactics will be important too. And that's where Venus's energy there can show up. But what's also happening is that we've got a collective of energy in Gemini, which is very much to do with the longer term, but it can be to do with your higher purpose. Now, if you are very goal orientated and want to go for a big prize, which I think you can achieve, it still needs to work for you in terms of that long term plan. So don't get too caught up in short term targets. Also, by the end of May, as Mars moves forwards, it clashes in a right angle with Pluto. Frankly, this is one of astrology's toughest influences, but you have planets in positions that can be very helpful to you. If you are dealing with a situation at the moment, maybe romantically, could be at work, where someone wants to, in some ways, even if it is subtle, dominate you or control you, you're going to push back in a major way through the last 10 days of May, but particularly on the 26th. But they won't like it, and it could create a big standoff. But just know, for you to really get what you need in your life, you need to be leading your life on your terms. And that's what Mars is very much about. It's about our individuality. And it is about your qualities. And if you're not being recognized in the way you could be, why shouldn't you raise your profile and seek greater recognition over the next 6 weeks? So whether it's a partner who's jealous, or whether it is someone at work who tries to micromanage you or inhibit your progress, don't be put off at all, even if you do go through that tussle towards the end of May. Because remember what I said about Venus. Venus is going to meet up with Jupiter in the early part of June, but then towards the end of May, as Mars moves forwards, he forges a fantastic sextile with Jupiter. So some of the things you've been learning with Jupiter's help over the last near to a year, about 11 months, are going to come back to you, and in a more visible way, because remember, Jupiter is going to arrive in your sign. So just as that's happening, Mars will switch into Gemini. So that long-term plan, very important, but really things can throttle up as you get to the end of June in a fantastic way, and you can burst forwards, but you're setting the stage. That doesn't mean to say that you shouldn't apply for jobs, uh, do presentations, try to link up with new people. But what you do behind the scenes will be just as important as what you do more obviously. I'm going to summarize those 4 areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next, Leo. I've slashed the price of my personal horoscope reports. It's now 3 for the price of 1. The one you pay for is your life roadmap report. Helps us to understand the patterns that have played out in our life so far, get a more intimate understanding of that energy, and work with it better future forwards. 3, your 12 months transit forecast, and also your Draconic soul analysis. If you don't have your North Node late in Pisces or early in Aries, it's very different from your natal chart, and helps us to look at astrology and ourselves in a different, more profound way. Please check those offers out below. If you've yet to watch your May monthly forecast, please see that on the screen. If you're yet to watch your Uranus 78-year solar return video, that's on the screen, the Uranus Kazemi. If you'd like to work with me directly, it'd be an absolute pleasure. Please see my testimonials. And if you've yet to take advantage of my free daily written horoscope, fired to your device each morning for your early day celestial pit stop, please see that below to sign up for that too. So to summarize, as far as your professional situation is concerned, if you are not happy with what you're doing at the moment, Mars is going to give you a lot more confidence to go for what really works. And it can be a case of the research you do behind the scenes as much as what you do more obviously. But if you're in a situation where you do feel valued, the chances are a promotion or some kind of major breakthrough can unfold over the next 6 weeks. When it comes to your financial situation, I feel that having Jupiter and Venus, the 2 planets of fortune, come into a conjunction at the start of June can be very, very important. But what comes to you may be quite surprising. It may not just be in terms of pay. It could be to do with the package. For example, the amount of holiday, insurances, some healthcare as well. And that actually could be very attractive, but not quite in the way you might expect. As far as your love life is concerned, having Venus and Mars in a sextile as this journey begins is really interesting, because Venus moving into the 12th house can see a relationship which is not working come to a close. And if you have felt that someone's been trying to dominate you, I think you might try to break away. But equally, if your circumstances are different, an old flame could get in touch or come to mind, or you could meet someone through your work, but it could, to begin with, be quite a discreet, even clandestine connection. When it comes to your energy, having Mars, having just left its home sign of Aries and passed over Chiron. I think you've had a chance recently to gain a lot more knowledge about your needs, but with Jupiter, the planet of knowledge, still in your 12th house, working at the psychological level within you, is actually going to have rich rewards in a physical context too. It's been a pleasure being with you, Leo. All the best, and look forward to seeing you again soon.